the two things.
Today's guest speaker, I'm very glad that they could make it out here. They've been friends of mine for a long time, but over time they got really busy, which is understandable. And I could not really see them as often as I'd like to. But you know, we've stayed in touch on and off, and I've been trying to get them out here for a while. Just their schedule is insane, so they really rearranged their schedules to come on out here and hang with us for today's period. I've talked about Howard a lot, as you know. I'll share a story with you really quickly that I've never told in person, so I'm going to say it again out loud. But many years ago, we were hanging out with my friend's birthday, one of my best friend's birthdays, and we're sitting at a table, and it was just me and him, and he told me, Salvari, I got to tell you something. And I was like, what's going on, Al? And he's like, I'm going to make $1 million before I turn 32. And no one in my life ever told me that. Nobody I know had ever just said that to me. And I looked at him dead on, I was like, dude, you can do it. Like, I'm confident you can do it. And he did it. He did it. He reached his goal, but then unlike most people, did not stop at that goal, and has been an inspiration to me and many people, and has continued pushing new limits every day. He's just doing something new. And I'm very happy to introduce my friend Albert and his wife, Sylvia.
I went to Porter Middle School. Yeah. Around here, close, kind of.
Yeah,
so growing up elementary school, I used to take the bus. One of the 5 or 3 Hispanics minorities in that elementary school. Everybody, most of the kids were white, teachers, kids. So I didn't speak English, and I've never been on the school bus. So my mom didn't want to send me to school in where we lived, which was Echo Park. The area wasn't as good. The area was kind of bad. My parents were so caring for me that they never let me be myself. They were so protective. And when people protect you a lot, you lose that ability to have the courage. So I was about 6, 7, and there I am getting on the school bus, and I was scared to death. So I was crying the whole ride. The whole ride to the valley from LA was about an hour. I couldn't really handle that, and I had no other option, because now I'm there. My mom and my dad can't protect me because all these kids are like attacking me and making fun of me, and yeah, it was hard. I didn't understand where I was, so people started making fun of me. And that was the biggest problem in elementary school when I got there the first grade, because people would make fun of me. I was like didn't know English, so kids used to tell me like, hey, you're from Mexico, like go back to Mexico. But I never let that stop me, because I didn't have another option. Like I wasn't gonna die there. Like if I wanted to die, but I couldn't die. You're not gonna die by people making fun of me. Like it's not the end of the world. So I just kept fighting. I never lost my courage. So that made me actually more courageous. And I remember I promised my dad, hey, and I saw like a nice Ferrari there. I saw big homes in Beverly Hills, and I promised my dad, hey, I'm gonna get one of those cars. I'm gonna get a red Ferrari, and I'm gonna get a big mansion. And he told me, well, it's gonna be really hard, because you're not, that's not for us. Never give up on those dreams. Never give up on those dreams, because anybody could do anything. Like I wasn't supposed to be speaking here in front of you. I wasn't supposed to drive a red Ferrari. Now we have 2 Ferraris. We live where we want to live. There's gonna be people they're gonna tell you, hey, you're not gonna get your dreams. You're not gonna accomplish them. All you gotta do is just remember, it's fake. It's just noise that people are telling you, and you just gotta believe in your dream, go forward, because anybody could. If I could do it, anybody could do it. Like I wasn't supposed to be here because my family came from Mexico, I didn't even speak English. Even though I was born here, I didn't even speak English. I couldn't communicate with other kids. I couldn't communicate with teachers. They put me on special ed class. Do they still have that?
Yeah.
They thought I was a slow learner, or is that how they call it?
You know what it was back in our day, and I don't think I shared this story with you, class, but I had the same issue. I spoke Spanish, and so at my school, which is elementary school, Union Avenue, the teacher there, the special ed teacher, said he needs to be in special ed classes because he doesn't know how to speak English, so there's something wrong with him. And so that was very common. Automatically, it's like, oh, special ed, put him in there.
They put me on special ed, and then I don't believe I'm a special ed student. I just didn't understand English. It was like somebody was speaking to me like in Chinese or something. So then they later transferred me to the ESL class. People would make fun of me. They would make fun of my English because I didn't speak it. Then I moved to middle school, and then kids are making fun of my accent. He doesn't know how to speak, like ha ha ha, he he he. And I started getting pimples. People call me pizza face, and then my face used to get really red. When you're in middle school, or when you're 13, 14, 12, sometimes it just takes a little bit of that for you to like get really insecure. Insecurities start building. What's your favorite thing to do?
Sports.
Watch Shark Tank. What about you? Play basketball. So, being good in basketball, like let's say, you know Spud Webb? Have you heard of it?
Kobe.
You know Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe. So Kobe used to like dunk from the free throw line on top of people that are bigger than him, right? Is that a skill or is that an ability?
Skill.
Let me tell you why that's actually an ability, because skill is something that you could practice. So let's say if you're not good at let's say drawing, for example, and you start or writing. Let's say writing. You're not good at writing, but you practice writing, or practice speaking. Like you practice speaking like in front of people, you're gonna develop a skill, so you're gonna get better. But you could practice all you want on how to dunk from the free throw line on top of a bunch of bigger people than you, and no matter how much you practice that, sometimes you're just not gonna have that ability to jump as high as Kobe did. So like if you're 5 foot, no matter how much you practice on jumping from the free throw line on top of people, it's gonna be almost impossible to do that because of the ability. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not playing for the Lakers right now, because I'm not that tall, and yeah, I could have probably worked harder, and maybe I could have played for the Lakers, but it was just kind of hard because like Shaq's like all the way here, and all these guys, and they're stronger than me, they're bigger than me, and they have those abilities. So finally, I graduated from high school. So then I graduated, then I went off to college, and then I tried 3 different things. So first I wanted to be a computer technician. Then I wanted to be a trainer for like Kobe, because since I couldn't make it to the NBA, I wanted to be like Kobe's trainer. I was 19. I tried college for a year and a half. It didn't work out. But even though it didn't work out, just like all my life, nothing worked out. Tried real estate. I'm like, well, let me try real estate. Didn't make it in real estate. But then somebody told me, hey, you know what? You could do mortgages. You have the license, so the license works for real estate or mortgages. And then finally that worked. And after failing over and over and over again, I found something that worked. And then finally that worked. And after failing over and over and over again, I found something that worked. So then I started doing that, and I thought, yeah, I made it. I made, I think, $200,000 my first year and a half. And I figured, wow, I think I finally made it. Then 2008, I don't know if you guys have anybody that was in real estate in 2008, parents maybe? 2008 when the economy went really bad and everybody started losing things and stuff like that. So now I had, my car got repossessed, I lost my 2 homes, and then I was, again, like failing. What I remembered all my life, even though I kept failing and kept going through a bunch of struggles, I never gave up. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep pushing forward. And I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally I started making better decisions. I started doing good again. I went through a lot of battles, and I knew how it felt to like lose and to fail. So I had the experience. And we used to sleep in a Ford Explorer for 2 months, and she used to stay in the car with me. And whenever you find a good friend, you keep that friend.
Yeah.
You get married to that friend. You have a question?
I was gonna say, like, I left my friends because I started to realize, like, I experienced in life more. So I realized that I have to start hustling because life is getting harder, but it's going. So like the friends that were telling me like, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna achieve any goals. So I just started to leave them because I know that they're gonna stay in the low and I'm gonna start hustling while they're still looking at me.
So that's why it's really important to keep your circles small and have friends, get friends that are smarter in something. Like let's say if you're bad in basketball, get friends that are good in basketball. If you have friends that talk behind people's back, get friends that are really ethical and really nice.
I don't know why they say this, but they always say when you be with someone, you lose like, not, I said it wrong. Like when you be in a relationship with a guy, you don't focus on school. Why do they say that?
It depends on how people view it, and different perspectives of what situations they view.
I can tell you right now, class, because of my friend, I've learned a lot, read a lot of books, and I can tell you, be careful with people you surround yourself with. I've told you that already. But also, you want to find someone that's going to help you reach your goals, someone that supports you, not by doing your work for you, but that believes in you, that inspires you to just kind of push. Be careful with who gives you advice. Sometimes family, parents, teachers can tell you something that may seem like the best advice, but they might just be venting or reciprocating some sort of experience they had with themselves. Like, oh, you'll never do this. Like if you tell them that you want to be like a millionaire, they might tell you, oh, that's not going to happen. Like, don't do that. Like, that's not going to happen. Your parents might tell you that to feel like they're taking care of you, but ultimately they might be deterring you. You want to be driven. You want to make sure you push. Set high goals, and then after you reach your goals, make some new ones. Don't stop. Don't stop, you guys.
So you reach your goal or your short-term dream, create a bigger one right away and just go after that one. Always keep reaching up. And the Driven event it's September 22nd. It's going to be here in LA.
We have a lot of kids.
We have a lot of kids that are going
with their parents.
Yeah, and it's about sales, systems, relationships, training, marketing. So
I added Albert's Instagram here. I recommend following him. He keeps it real. He keeps it real. You know, I like people that keep it real. He's constantly giving advice, and a lot of it might resonate with you. I don't know if Albert's supposed to take photos with you.
What?
They can take pictures?
Yeah.
If you want to take pictures with Albert, you can do that. I would like to take a class picture if possible. If we can just move to the back real quick.